they look great. And so I don't know. It's a trip to me to hear fans at times. I'm just
people gonna complain no matter. But yeah,
yeah.
no,
I think
you
especially
bring
with how much stuff you're getting here. Like usually sometimes I think people kind of complain when it's like you get nothing.
well, welcome, Brick. Really appreciate you being here.
Great to be
It's
here.
Yeah, I know. 100th episode for the Collecting Brothers. You recently hit your 50th episode, so congrats, 51st, right? You did with Thanos. That was great.
Yes. Yeah. We passed the 50th and I'm old, so it's perfect. 100. Hi, guys.
So who better, right? For
Yeah,
100th episode.
perfect.
No, I do actually like the main reason I reached out to you is you kind of like got us into that community. Prior to that, we were kind of doing our own thing, but you brought us into that toy collecting community. So we really do appreciate that because
100%.
it really did, like, for me, just expose me to a lot more content, a lot more people, and not only watching that, but also like supporting them, like being in the chats, and it's just fun. It's been fun. So
No, absolutely. No, you're yeah, I was surprised when you told me that like you all have like really connected with other folks because I'm like, man, they're doing great stuff. Folks need to know, and to me, that's what this is all about. Like, I could
yeah,
collect toys in isolation, but I'd be really sad and lonely. So, hi, friends. No,
hello.
this is great.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess at
it's
least you got your brother, so you guys are
that's true.
you got each other.
That's
So
true. We did have each other. All right, but yeah, we're just gonna be doing our weekly roundup of all the toy news that we saw today, this week, what we thought was cool, and of course, as you're watching Break, we do our pick of the week. If your friends are watching at home, make sure you guys are watching, see which one your pick of the week is. We've been getting some of those posted, so that's really cool. Thanks for everyone participating on that. And we'll jump in. Josh, do you want to say anything?
No, just super excited that Brick's here with us. Like me and John were talking about, like, we should do something special for 100th episode. We're just like, let's get Brick on here and kind of have like a three-way commentary here going.
Yeah, no, it's a good little discourse here that we'll have. Yeah, we all bring something different to the table.
100. How do I do that? Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, he's got the fancy Apple computers over here.
Thank you, work.
I know, right? That's the only reason. All right. Well, thanks, Brick, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are the Collecting Brothers plus Brick, and we're going to go ahead and talk about toys. Let's jump into it. Jump over to Four Horsemen. I like to kind of start the show off with them. And Brick, I know you have a story, and we'll get to it if you're willing to share what happened.
Oh, that story. And I'm just so positive.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I can, but I was just excited because tomorrow's a big day, as you know.
Tomorrow's a very big day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are going to break down the Ashes of Agbandor wave when it gets revealed. Love tuning into that. Check out the Four Horsemen Studios. They'll tell you everything you need to know. But what I wanted to talk about here is just that I love that they do these, right? They do these updates, the shipping updates. They kind of keep you up to date on all their figures. Yep. So Figure Obscures have been shipped, all of them. We got Cosmic Legions Output Zaxxas shipping. They should be finishing that up soon here. And they also announced that Necronomicon is getting pushed back a little bit to quarter 3 2024 just because of the detailing on that. And then finally, some good news to end it with. The All-Star or the retailer waves are getting pushed up. Or no, correct. Am I right? No, what got pushed up? The Zaxxas, Output Zaxxas got pushed up. The street date for retailers got pushed up on that. So instead of being late June, they're going middle of June on that. So really cool update on this. Now, Brick, again, you can share as much as you want on this, but you got your confirmation that your Gods of Egypt arrived.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start there. Yes, I was so excited. Like, oh my God, these figures are great. But I don't know how public you are about what you do for a living, but I'll share that I'm a teacher. And so I do this thing, and then other teachers have been like, what? But like, I get my stuff shipped to work, and there's reasons, and it all comes in place. So it's safer and all of those things. So yeah, I got those fun little awkward things when, a student from an aide from the office comes into my classroom in the middle of class with a big box that says Big Bad Toy Store, Big Bad Toy Store, Big Bad. And all my kids are like, oh, here we go again, nerd. But so I do that, but I'm about to end school. So this thing dropped, and I like it was as we remember, it was like a big surprise. And they're like, okay, here's a tease. And by the way, tomorrow it's dropping. And so I had no idea how long it would take. And oftentimes when they ship stuff from Four Horsemen, because it's come from Jersey out here to San Francisco, it's kind of a crapshoot in terms of how long. So I was like, oh man, at a certain point, we stop accepting packages at school. And then the whole package is until August. So I'm like, oh. So sorry, this is a long story. So I'm trying to work out like where can I do this? So I have it shipped to a residence, a buddy's house. Why? Because I've had stuff shipped to my house and it's been stolen before. So okay, like dude's in a different place, it'll be
Yeah.
safer.
Yeah.
So yeah, not so much. So
Man.
Tuesday, I get the notification that it's coming. Tuesday, I get the notification from FedEx with a photo. Look, it's here. And they take a
Delivered.
picture of it sitting on my buddy's.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I'm trying to get him. I was like, hey, it's there. And he's doing me a favor.
Right.
And he's like, oh, let me check. And he's like, oh man, it's not there. Damn it. So it was stolen. He sent me the footage. I had the footage of the dude walking up, scooping it and putting it in his little basket. And so I lost my figure obscura gods. May that guy, suffer the Pharaoh's curse. And real talk, it's a bummer that people are doing that. And it's a real talk. Like it's real talk. It's a bummer that people, like, I don't know if have to do that or even just do that. Even they have to.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah.
That said, this community's dope. You started off by saying like, hey, you introduced us to the community. Like folks are great, man. And this is why we have community, because we support each other. And I put that out there, and pretty quickly a little guardian angel was like, hey man, I got you. And I was like,
yeah.
And it sucks that this person has to do that. But I fully appreciate it. So make friends, folks.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Be good to each other, because we got to, because I don't want to live in Furiosa, but sorry, that's a whole other thing.
In the wasteland, yeah.
So that's the bad news. But the good news is, because it's funny, you said, oh yeah, then we got some good news. And I was like, are you kidding me? Everything on this image right now is good news.
That's true. Yeah.
But yes, so I don't have those figures in hand, and I've been watching all the reviews, and I'll get them soon enough. So
yeah. No, I'm really happy on the outcome of that. And again, just sure. The community, man, it's so important, and it's there to help. So I'm so glad that they showed up for you. All right, but yeah, there's the kind of a quick update on the Mythic Legions shipping stuff. So we'll see what comes next, and excited to see what the reveals are for tomorrow.
I don't mean to like hijack, but I'm curious what all how of everything on there. How deep are you? I saw your mysteries of Mythos haul there, buddy. So
I got everything on here.
Of course. I love everything. Respect.
There's not one thing. Well, except like the Marley and the Wukong and the Red Death, because those are just kind of repaints. I just have the original ones, and I don't plan to get those. I
appreciate your restraint. I don't know if you're going to cover this, but you probably saw that Sun Wukong has a neck joint.
Updated, yeah. So you know like
how okay, never mind. I'm going to get another Wukong then. I didn't know that.
Oh, man, that's Josh, sick. I love it. I respect. And I'm in the same boat. I was like, oh, man, do I need that too? Yeah,
because honestly, because honestly, that's my favorite figure obscura so far. So it's worth it.
It's a good figure. It's a good figure. Yeah. All right, let's jump over to NECA. Just a quick updates here. They gave us an American Werewolf 2-pack here. American Werewolf in London, Jack and David. Yeah. Just a classic horror movie, right? Practical effects. I think that's one of the most memorable things about this is the David turning into a werewolf, right? Yeah, all practical and gory and stretching skin. I love it. But the cool thing about this, I think they nailed the puffy coat look on this. Yes. Like the sheen on it, the gloss. I think they did a really good job on this. And Jack here, like, just because he dies pretty early on in the movie, right?
Spoilers.
So for American Werewolf in London, but he comes back and like talks to David, and like it's like, hey, you got to kill yourself, man. But every time he comes back, he's in like further levels of decay. And the fact that you're getting 3 different head sculpts with this figure here, his human face, the decayed face, and then a further decayed face, and then upper torsos and arms. I mean, that's a stellar 2-pack, man. I think they did a really good job on this.
Yeah, man. I think it's gorgeous. You said it. As far as that puffy jacket, it's really good. Even the sheen is perfect, right? Like, yeah, they did a great job. It's funny. I'm sitting here because I just filmed this guy. This is the veteran Williams. So speaking of werewolves, but he actually comes with a puffy vest, which is kind of funny.
I wonder if it's like an homage to this
too. Oh, maybe. But no, look at the head sculpts on this. All look fantastic. Yeah. For these kinds of characters, the articulation is like fine.
It's NECA. It's
NECA. Yeah. It's perfect.
You don't need superhero poses with these guys. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you don't. But man, look at And I love that they kind of like recreate some scenes with the
Right.
photography, and they do
Yeah.
such a good job. These are, if you're a big horror fan, like
Yeah.
NECA's got you covered right now. That
They
look at that.
they've been putting out a lot of good stuff lately for sure. And like not only like classic stuff, but like the old stuff too. Like we were talking about Christopher Lee's Dracula. They did a
Mhm.
figure of him and we were talking about the other day. And then the next figure, a little bit of Vincent Price.
Yes.
And again, NECA just
I yeah.
just crushed the suit. I don't
Mhm.
like I know I understand it's hard plastic. I know it's not soft. It just is so clean.
Absolutely. And the way it falls on him too, like I'm looking at the
Mhm.
bottom of his jacket and the way that's sort of bending out and stuff. It's beautiful.
You know what? I think it
I
actually is soft plastic. Look how it's
it
bending
is.
here.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's got
okay.
like it
Okay.
just rests perfect, like the way that flows right there. It's like, yeah, it looks like a dude in a suit. Yeah, obviously, except for the joints, but still, even that's pretty damn clean. And
Yeah.
I generally have this like aesthetic going, so I refrain from anyone wearing clothes that kind of look like from our reality, but I
Okay.
can't I can't pass this up. He looks really good. So I figure like he'll be like the narrator to whatever's happening on the shelf, or he'll introduce the scene.
Right. Yeah.
He
Josh,
looks
what are you
so
thinking?
good.
Yeah, I think like unless you're like into that movie, then it's kind of just a figure. Like there's nothing that stands
True.
out to me, you know?
True.
I mean, besides
True.
the accessories, I mean that the skull's nice, the T, the accessories are all nice.
Yeah, they're always nice with NECA, but again, yeah, it is like more of a persona, right? Vincent Price. You know Tim Burton's gonna pick this up, right? So those type of people are gonna be getting this. It's just kind of an icon for them. But yeah, if
Can
you're
I
not
just
into yeah,
I was just gonna say that shot right there. Look at everything that's there. You get the ascot around him, you get the bow
yeah,
tie, and you get the tie.
yeah,
It's just really clever, like from an engineering perspective. I love that end of the
little
hobby too.
inserts,
So
yeah.
it's cool stuff.
That's
And the young head, old head, there's some really good stuff here. I
yeah.
could see him hanging out with the Horseman's Red Death too.
That's a really good point, Brick, because I think sometimes what people like other companies will do is the body and the color of the collared shirt are one piece. And so when they
Mhm.
put the jacket overlay, it's like
Mhm.
often puffy, like puffier
Mhm.
than it needs to be. Where I'm just noticing, yeah, that's why it's
Yeah,
so clean
yeah.
because like
Yep.
the piece is just there and it doesn't add the bulk because there's not like double
On that
layers of
second
plastic.
layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as
Interesting.
you're moving along through these pictures, it's so cool because like he does transform from like young Vincent Price to like throughout, but it's the same toy. Like
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same toy.
Different looks,
So
man. Different looks.
cool
But yeah.
accessories, cat,
Mhm.
raven, skull. Come on now.
The records.
Some LPs. Hell yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. All right. Next up, a little bit of a reissue here. They're re-releasing the Predator Bone Throne diorama. So this is kind of cool.
Oh, I
If you
haven't
got
seen
some
this.
Predators, it's huge though. I mean, this thing it's substantial. It is $100 on the NECA store right now, but I mean, it's a big thing of plastic.
Is this from something? Because I'm bummed that I
I,
haven't seen
I
this. I want to see this.
I honestly don't know. I'm like not that big into Predator. Like I've seen them all,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell you if it's from exactly a movie though.
The only thing I would imagine it being is that Alien versus Predators in this sort of like big ship, maybe, but I don't remember it
You know
enough.
what it was? It was probably an AVP Requiem, but that whole movie was too dark, so nobody saw
Yeah,
it.
is that the one where they like big
It's the one.
pyramid space thing?
No, it's like the one where they enter a small town and they kind of fight in the small town, but like the color
Oh.
grading on that is just so shadowy.
So
You
it
can
was
barely,
there, but we didn't see it.
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's beautiful though. It's
Yeah.
super like it's super Giger, like
Oh
Geiger,
yeah.
Giger, and pronounced. But yeah, so it's funny because which is very much an aliens thing. So it's kind of
True.
neat to see the predator sitting on this bone throne, and it's neat because
Yeah.
it's all alien anatomy. It's non-human skulls and skeletons. So
Yeah.
interesting.
It's cool.
Yeah, some xenomorphs in there. Look at that.
It
That's
does
cool.
look like that. Yeah. It's probably AVP then for sure.
Yeah,
Josh,
nobody's recognizing it. That's what it is. Nobody's recognizing it. Yeah.
the kind of the armrests are for sure xenomorphs.
For that solid of a brick, like I feel like $100 is a little much, especially because I think with the advent of just everybody getting 3D printers, like you could sculpt this yourself
Sure.
on Blender, and then like not exactly right, but just you could print this size on your own printer and save crap ton of money. Because $100 with no articulation and just a brown wash, it's a little much.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you
this
could,
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say that so it's just the throne for $100.
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at price, like I recognize that like these companies are putting those prices up for a reason. And at the end of the day, like there's a hardcore Predator
Oh
fan,
yeah.
right? And
Oh
like
yeah.
they get everything. So for them, there's a lot of value when they see that. For me, who doesn't, I'm just like I might think like, oh, this would be cool, mix in with these figures or whatever. So
Right.
$100 is kind of a hard pass for sure. But for those fans, I get
Yeah.
it. This is
To
like some good stuff.
each their own. That's for sure. Everyone collects.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
figures sold separately.
Let's jump over to McFarlane Toys here. They announced McFarlane Toys is now licensing Marvel figures, where everyone freaked out. Everyone's like, "Oh no, nah! It's McFarlane,
Everyone.
right? Right? Yeah, everyone, the internet, the toy community. No, it's McFarlane. So they're going to be specifically doing. They did say figures and statues, but it's probably going to be mostly like posed figures, kind of like the sports memorabilia that he used to do, the Matrix figures that he used to do at that 10-inch or the 1/10 scale, excuse me.
Mhm.
But it's mainly going to be that. So like, don't worry, guys.
Well,
And
yeah, the press release actually used the phrase, our posed figure, as you said.
oh, okay,
And so I
okay.
didn't see anything more than that. It was just posed figure. And, it's this McFarlaneism of like creating language, right? Of like digital and we're using posed figures. It's like, no, dude, yes, I said that. Posed figures. I was like, all right, dude, statues.
Fair enough. Yeah, the cool thing too, though, about these is that they'll come with like comic reissues. They're going to come with dio bases. I don't know any price points on these, but it's just McFarlane. I like Todd McFarlane. I know people feel how they feel about him, but he innovates in this community, in this toy community, and produces things that he just thinks are cool. And so it's cool to have him do this license. Yeah, they're going to be statues or posed figures or whatever you call it, but he's adding things that might be appealing to us. I don't know, as like a 1/12 collector.
And I feel like his prices are always extremely fair. Like from any of the kind of big
True.
companies, his prices are always the best. And so like it just adds more competition. Like because the Gentle Giant does some Marvel busts and statues, and even at that 1/12 scale or Iron Studios.
Yeah,
And so to kind of get somebody to because those are pretty pricey because they're meant to be because they're really high end.
they're nice.
Maybe
Yeah,
like a mid tier for people that can't afford those kind of, but still want Marvel statues.
yeah. So we'll see what they come out. I think I saw some Spider-Man stuff. We usually don't post any like the spoilery stuff, like people taking stuff from cons, but
Oh, I see.
there's some photos out there. You can find them.
Yeah. I'll just bite my tongue.
Okay.
Oh yeah, talk about some McFarlane that I am excited about. There you go.
This big old dark side, just beautiful comic right out of the pages, man. This thing looks good, and soft goods cape on this thing, man.
Yes.
This is the mega fig for Dark Side. $40. That is a mega fig, but man, beautiful.
It's sold, but it's sold out. So
correct,
fast,
pre-sold out. I mean,
could not.
You didn't get it. Oh, damn,
No,
sorry, man.
I didn't. But actually, it might have worked out. But yeah, no, like I didn't. I tried. I actually didn't realize that it was going up when it did. So I checked and they're gone. But
that's all right, man. With McFarlane, they usually come back around.
Yeah, because I think even like with like the Bane, I think Bane is one of those figures that kind of never went. Like it was like $40 and then was gone. But as you can see now, just recently they're doing like a reskin of it, and it's the same figure, just like with different paint, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And so there'll be different iterations of this dark seed.
Fair enough. I'm just this is my jam. This is like closer to the Kirby stuff, And
well, no, I think it actually is specifically. They said I think
that's what it's intended to be for sure, but still some of the detailing like on the arms and even the art direction is not, it's not quite
there.
Yeah, okay. but costume wise, like it's there. Like but what is interesting to me is that I passed on that Calabac, the mega fig that they had a while back. It's a beautiful one, and it's more from what is it, Dark Side War, so it's newer, but he looks really good. And the trick is that this guy is about like almost 9 inches. I want to say, is that right? Or is it fig? Well, I looked it up on
they vary.
BTS had it, and I want to say it said 8.78 or 7.78. I believe it was 8.78. It's closer to 9. But if you look at that Calabac, he's like huge. And in my brain, like I want a good Calabac with him. But anyway, I missed this pre-order. When you're saying that they're going to come back around, Josh, you were describing more of like a re-release of that Bane, right? But what do you all know about like, will these be available again later? This exact same one, maybe?
I believe so. Especially like if you just hunt in the stores when they're released. Like they'll always be in stores because like the Bane was sold out like everywhere, and I actually just went into a Target the week it was released, and I found the Bane mega fig at my Target. So I think that is like an option.
Little hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because it says it's a mega fig, and yes, it is larger, but I've seen a lot of those mega figs, and they're like huge, right? And
Big.
Yes, the boxes are massive.
And they're not quite in the scale for the characters, at least my thinking for some of them. I was like, this isn't right. But this guy would scale right for like a McFarlane, say Superman, or he's not ridiculously huge like some of the dark sides that have been made. So I'm digging it. All about those thigh high boots, man, and the speedos.
And the fact that it's sold out, it just goes to show, like when McFarlane does good, people do eat it up,
Yeah.
And those cloth good gapes. I know Josh is all about that, right?
Yeah, and it looks like the wire runs along the sides and along the bottom, which is really cool. I got some of the Dune 2 figures, and I was really impressed by those too, as far as like the soft goods.
That's good to hear, because when we first saw them, we were like, okay, this is like McFarlane's starting to get into that soft goods. He's layering it, he's wiring it out, and
for
like
his
the material
price point and the soft goods, cool. The biggest challenge with the soft goods, he'll often kind of like connect them in ways that they can't be removed. So
okay.
Meaning like they're usually built in with a sculpt or something.
Right.
And so I'm hoping it's great, but sometimes I want to replace it, and it becomes a little more challenge. See, like it's embedded there.
Yeah, it's embedded. Yeah, for sure.
But still,
did you get that Amazon 4-pack?
Which one?
The Dune figures.
I did not. Figures? No, I just got Chani and Paul, the chase Paul.
Yeah, with the scarf.
Yeah, and then the pale dude. What's his name?
Fade Rafa.
Fade Rafa. Yes. But hey, do you know what's going on with the eyes? Is that an attachment, an alt head, the Omega beams?
I think it's an alt head, but I don't know.
Yeah, because they have them. Yeah, they show the other one in front, but I just don't know if those are maybe attachments.
Either way, it's cool. Clean box. Oh yeah. Second head. Here it is.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I love that. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with those old ways that they would draw the Omega beams. Yeah. I want that exactly.
Angles.
Yes. That is one downside.
Josh, you speak my language.
That is one downside. Yeah, because I'm comparing this to the Mezco one they released, which was kind of the Kirby kind of color scheme as well. And that one came with the
yeah.
And this one doesn't have that, which is a bummer.
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably just the price point there,
Yeah.
All right.
He's cool looking though. I'm glad he's making them.
Next up from McFarlane, something I'm super excited about, something that I grew up with. It's my childhood coming around here. Batman Forever figures. Getting that. Chris O'Donnell, Robin, Harvey Dent, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Riddler. Man, I am so excited for this. We recently got the Batman Forever figures. So it's cool to get more of these figures. And now, something me and Josh have been wanting McFarlane to do is, how they do the glow-in-the-dark versions of their figures, right?
Blacklight editions.
Oh, sorry, the Blacklight edition figures. Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever. A lot of blacklight, right? And I'm just
was it skate rink or what was it? Like a hockey?
Yeah, those studs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So excited that we're getting these figures, and now I'm more excited, honestly, for the blacklight edition of these figures.
Yeah. These guys had a couple different outfits in that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be fun. I think it's fun for sure. It's not for me. I lived through it too, and I was not the biggest fan.
Right.
I'll be honest. I hated the movie even back then, but still, what I appreciate that, like, it's a DC multiverse, like, and they're really leaning into that. That's the line, and yes, like, honor everything that has come. Go for it. There are like hardcore fans of almost everything.
Right.
So yeah, this totally makes sense to me. Even better, like, give us all of the, they're starting to they've made a couple of different Batmobiles now, but yeah, keep going with that. That's cool. Like, that's something that, as you can see, I'm kind of into vehicles. in another reality where I had more space, I would have totally gotten into like collecting different Bat vehicles by McFarlane.
You're right. Yeah, no, I'm excited for these. Yeah. The Two-Face man looks amazing. And now it's just a small picture. But Josh, what are you thinking?
Yeah, great likenesses for sure.
Okay, cool. And just a little teaser.
I was going to ask you about the bat in the back.
Right, yeah. That? I don't see why not. They've made a man bat figure, and in the movie, Riddler, uses, or that's part of the film. So maybe
that would be amazing.
All right, let's jump over to Marvel Legends. They gave us a 3-pack here of the Cabal, not to be confused with Mythic Legends Cabal. They had kind of a few jokes on there. But yeah, just think about we're getting Iron Patriot, Doctor Doom, and Taskmaster. Originally, this went up on Amazon for $100, and it was, for whatever reason, incorrect. Right, the price was solicited at $74.99. Right, so some miscommunication. Some people were saying, "Oh, it's because it was supposed to be a 4-pack," and I think it was just miscommunication. Right, they just gave him the wrong price,
or they're trying to ease us into the price hike, the next price hike.
Like, oh, sorry, it was a mistake. Then the next one's like, no, it's 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in 2024, you make a mistake and it's like it's too late, right? There's
Right.
I've already seen all the videos. People are like outraged, or
I know.
I don't know. We all
And
need
for
to
me,
we need to
literally,
chill, folks.
like,
We need to
literally
chill.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Brick. Like, I think it was corrected in that day, if not the next day. And I was just like, okay, $100. All right. I don't think so. Cause like I was getting 2 different numbers. I was like, clearly there's some miscommunication. But yeah, it is what it is. It's $74.99 on Amazon. But this Doctor Doom head, man, I'm loving this Doctor Doom head here.
Doombot.
The Doombot. Yeah, this is cool to kind of add that extra head sculpt to a figure that's been previously released, as which most of these are here. So
yeah, it's a good looking Doctor Doom. I love the day kind of like, so they're showing us the more classic Doom head sort of packed in, right? And then you get the Doombot army builder. Yeah. Super smart. The last one, even though it came with that classic Doom, they had that sort of newer Doom head packed in. And I don't know, there's just something even psychologically for some folks, including myself as an old guy. I was like, oh man, I don't know. There's something about this one. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, even though they're basically the same figure.
Yeah.
But this thing looks really cool. I like the medallion and everything. It's a little more simplified, like the old art. So,
Josh.
Yeah, they sucker us in with that new head sculpt and then the soft good cape, right? The original had the hard plastic cape, and so it's like, okay, there's the Iron Man figure that's new, the Taskmaster we basically have, but then you gotta buy the 3-pack now.
This is the one that's gonna make people buy the 3-pack, right?
Yeah.
Just a really good update.
No wires in those capes, though, right? I've never seen. Have I seen I don't know that I've seen a Marvel Legends.
Never.
No, is this the first?
With wired or just with soft goods?
Just soft goods in general. I'm just saying I've never seen.
Oh, Hawkeye with the bike.
Also more recently.
So what's the fabric like? Is this like a
thin,
spongy type Mattel thingy?
Yes, very thin and spongy. Yeah, like definitely not. McFarlane's quality is better in my opinion than these guys. These guys are very thin.
All right.
Next
up, that's what the internet's for.
Yeah, it's true. Iron Patriot. Yeah, I mean, again, this one's probably the weakest in the bunch here for me personally. Just kind of a basic Iron Man here, redecoed in that Iron Patriot look. Even the head sculpt, like the unmasked head sculpt, isn't doing it for me. Like,
he used that for Norman Osborn though.
Give him the cornrows though.
He has them. He has the waves.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
You just gotta paint him in.
Okay.
They're there.
Okay, fair enough. Then next up, Taskmaster.
I like this a lot.
And you get with the updated head. It looks like to me, you know,
pinless, right?
Pinless, yeah. I mean, getting all the weapons. Again, that Doom is the standout for sure.
This is a good looking Taskmaster. I've loved this look.
Yeah.
So, and that sculpt is no slouch. That's a pretty cool mask.
And I think with all the accessories, honestly, I think that for me personally, I think the Taskmaster is actually the better of the 3. I think this is the one. I love this Taskmaster. Yeah.
Nice.
So like, it's funny, we were talking about the price earlier, but let's be real. These are like 3 figures for $25. And I know for some fans, that's like sacrilege for me to say that that's a good deal. I get it. Prices go up. But I mean, $25 for these 3 figures, like,
that's what we're at.
I held this up earlier, and I know I'm stupid for paying so much for this, but like 23 dope looking figures of classic Marvel characters, classic-ish. Some they're newer, but they look great. And so I don't know. It's a trip to me to hear fans at times. I'm just,
people gonna complain no matter. But
especially with how much stuff you're getting here. Like usually, sometimes I think people kind of complain when it's like you get nothing. Like if you guys remember, like the Spider-Verse figures, where those were $25,
just those
and like
figures,
that Peter Parker came with absolutely nothing. But seeing the quantity that you're getting with Taskmaster, then it's like, okay, that makes sense. Because especially if they're not coming with build-a-figure pieces, right? They should come with more accessories.
And with Taskmaster coming with a sword and weapons, it doesn't come with an extra head sculpt, but the Doom and the Iron Patriot do come with head sculpt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All around, it has good accessories.
That's true. That's true.
The thing that's just really odd to me, and it's right there in this image in particular, it's like you went with a soft goods cape on one figure with a hood, with a plastic hood, and then the other one, it's just a weird disconnect with myself as a collector, I love some level of consistency and just, because it's a look that you're establishing, and it's a little weird to me, but
I think it's more of just like the bait and switch, because if you look at this Taskmaster, right, it's pinless with the new head sculpt, so collectors that have been collecting everything can justify it. Whereas the Doom, the body was already pinless, and the body's basically the exact same thing. It's just the new Doombot head sculpt, and so like, okay, we need to make it so collectors can justify it more.
Well, sweet.
Yeah,
there's little details on it that are different though. Yeah, like the medallion's different, I want to say.
Yeah, but like the figure itself, right? Like
it's, yeah, you're right.
Even the color is the exact same.
Yeah.
It's interesting how those choices get made, but I agree with you. Soft goods, no soft goods. Why not?
Yeah, I always feel like they're just trying to bait and switch. As they try to make as many changes as they can so the collector can just.
I mean,
like
but
threshold, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you, but like, isn't that the game? Because they know they're going to sell a Doom, so they could have just given you the exact same Doom, and then people would be like, "Oh, I already got this." So it's like, well, then let's switch it up a little and make it a little different. So
yeah,
I don't know. Again, make friends in the community, because you can sell it off to someone who doesn't have a Doom. There you go.
That's true. That's true. That's true with these 3 packs there for sure. There's the box. It is part of the 85 years. All right, let's jump over to Diamond Select. They're giving us a Sweetums from the Muppets, and Sweetums is my favorite. I'm very fond of Treasure Island, the Muppets Treasure Island, and Sweetums.
Is that what this is from?
No, this is just like classic Sweetums. It's from like the Muppet Show. They kind of.
But he doesn't usually have that outfit, does he?
I know it's like a big old like rag. Like it's not like a clothing. He definitely
this
wears
feels
like
more like medieval, like or something than I'm used to. But maybe
yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen this. This is cool. It's really cool.
But yeah, it's really cool. Diamond Select just continuing their lines, right? They slow and steady. They bring out their figures when they bring out the figures. But to get a big old Sweetums to go with your Muppets collection.
What's the deal with Kermit? It's not Kermit. I forgot
it's
his name.
Probably his like
it's his little nephew. But what's
it is.
But is it just sit there? Is it removable?
I think it's,
do we know anything?
I don't know. I think it's just part of the figure. Honestly, it looks like it just is attached to him.
But as
is there any articulation on it? Yeah, there is on the arms.
Yeah, Sweetums is articulated, but the little Kermit isn't. But yeah, there's some.
It's great.
Next up, we're getting an Oogie Boogie Man from Diamond Select, getting that Nightmare Before Christmas. And they only give us this one image here, but
well, I guess this is a reissue. Like we've gotten this figure. Actually, this is like the 3rd reissue. I think they've reissued this every Halloween. I think we've got this a long time ago. I'll tell you that right now.
I think that's the title of this episode. It should be changed to the reissue episode. We've got a lot of those.
It's a good figure, but it's a brick. There's no articulation.
Not even in that waist. I was guessing maybe there's a ball joint.
Yeah, nothing in the waist.
You're right. It's probably in the waist, but like it moves nothing.
Yeah. Other than that, the legs are just
they're untouched. There's that Oogie Boogie. Next up, Jimmy from Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. The Zack Snyder Netflix movie. Oh my goodness, frick! Listen, say what you will. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie for what it is. I know people say it's a bad movie. They can have that. I'm gonna sit back and watch.
In fairness, I haven't seen the second part, so it might have gotten like a lot better or whatever. I wasn't a fan of the first part. Okay, well then,
it's a cool robot design. At least that's a cool.
It 100% is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I have done my time when it comes to Zack Snyder. This is not true. I didn't pay money to go see, what was the movie? Oh, the sort of like half naked women with swords and
Sucker Punch.
Thank you. So me and my buddy went to go see that, but I want to say that was the one where we said, well, let's pay for this other movie that I want to support, but let's go watch this one.
Okay.
But no, like aesthetically, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, like I appreciate he's got a vision. He's always like really thinking about the image, right, and how things look. So when he got a chance to kind of redesign or design a world of his own in terms of like sci-fi and robots, I appreciate it. Like it's definitely unique. I love that it's like crystal stuff. I think it's beautiful, and I wouldn't mind having that on my shelf. It's cool looking and would totally fit into my weird sci-fi sword and sorcery thing over here.
I think that's what it does come down to for me too. Like I like Jimmy the best. And in the first movie, he's barely in it. Yes, he's voiced by Anthony Hopkins, but he's barely in it. And that's like one of the biggest disappointments for me for that movie is that robot wasn't used a lot.
Sorry, I was all of like 0 minutes old when I just realized that that was Anthony Hopkins. Really?
Yeah, they got a Thor's daddy there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, and he does show up in the second part, which is really cool. But
And does he look like this? Because he didn't look like.
yes, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
he gets the horns, he gets the whole show,
Huh.
he gets this whole look here from that part 2 there. But yeah, again, Jimmy's a cool looking robot, man.
This is Diamond Select still, though, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. So it's nice and big.
Nice and big, but a good price point, right? Because they're gonna come probably like $27, 26 bucks, something around there. So
Yeah.
a good alternative to like the SHF.
Which
I
is
gotta
also
s-
doing the Rebel Moon stuff. Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, obviously this won't move nearly as well as the SH stuff, but I've gotten a couple of Diamond Selects, and like, people talk about the articulation or lack thereof, and
Uh-huh.
it ultimately depends on like the character, right? So I've got
True.
like a Tron, which yeah, I wish he moved a little bit better, but it's like, okay, it's cool, but where else am I gonna get Tron figures? And then the other one is like Vincent from, not Vincent, but from Black Hole, and it's just like a static robot, but that's fine.
And
Where else am I gonna get that visual look? And then I look at this
Mhm.
thing and I'm like, oh, there's something interesting going on with those hip joints. I'm kind of curious to see
Yeah.
how this thing works.
And that's kind of what we said when we initially talked about the first Jimmy here, is that because it's a robot with its exposed joints, it's going to move really well because Diamond doesn't have to sculpt anything around it.
Yeah.
Throw the joint in, you're good to go. It's the robot look.
Yeah.
So I think this thing's going to move really well.
But what if it doesn't? And everything you said was true, and then it's like, yeah, but they had their shot.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think Diamond is kind of moving towards more articulation where they can put it in. But I mean, when you buy a Diamond Select, you're not buying for articulation. You're buying for the sculpt.
It looks good. They definitely, like, no way around it. These things look good. This, the other, the Sweetums that you showed, like, they look fantastic.
And their LOTR kind of their big
Lord of the
right
Rings.
now. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right, there's Diamond Select. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. Speaking of reissues, we're back at it again. Shout out to Yak Face. Follow him on Instagram. Gave us this beautiful little mock-up of the reissues that we're getting here. So we're getting 000, BT1, and Bosk. Yeah, but, I mean, just a second chance for people who might not have gotten it. Don't want to pay aftermarket. Kind of kill the costs there.
Third chance for the Bosk.
Third chance. Sorry, excuse me. Third chance for them. And interesting that they're going with the archive packaging and then the normal window packaging on these.
Yeah, I've kind of given up on trying to figure out the rhyme and reason on what they're doing with the packaging, but the fact that, like, one, I just love that we get more of these sort of like stuff from comics.
Oh yeah, that's true.
BT, so it's good to see them bring those back, because I feel like there's a little bit more awareness now about maybe who they are, especially like they did the Hot Toys. I don't know. I feel like it's a good choice for reissues, and the Bosk's dope. It's a little bit different. It's got a little bit more paint going on, I want to say, on that.
Brighter.
Yeah.
Maybe a wash on it. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, and this continues the year of the droids.
And the year of the reissues. This line is getting, honestly, it's kind of getting bunkered down. Like a lot. Like I like I'm all for killing the aftermarket, but it almost kind of scares me. And I need to look into something I was gonna look into is like when Hasbro has to redo their deal. I'm not sure if they redid it already recently, but
like renew their license.
Yeah, it almost just seems like I remember I used to play this like Star Wars mobile game, and when they knew they were not going to renew because the Disney fee was so much, they put all their like skins and everything on sale like prior, and then like 6 months later they closed down the game. And so like it was like a last cash grab because they never had to remake new things. They just had their existing catalog and put it on sale. And so I don't know, I'm kind of scared. Like it almost just seems like they're just trying
Black Series.
Yeah, like they're just trying to use the molds they have to kind of get money back. But I don't know. I hope not, because this is my favorite line. But it just is a lot of reissues.
So this is your favorite line. That's a
just solely because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I actually don't partake of any Black Series at all. But I don't know. I think that Star Wars is in a weird place in general, obviously because of fandom. But I think particularly at Hasbro, they've struggled with this brand. It feels like the last couple of years, right? And
I've read articles where they're like, maybe we're not going to redo the deal because the fees are so high.
I think there's that for sure. And then I think there's like stuff with like having a hard time syncing up with the entertainment because of the way Lucasfilm does stuff. And I appreciate that, and I get that. And also, I think it's really tough right now, given the Star Wars vibe among fandom. Like some people get excited still and want to be
Yeah.
happy, and other people
Yeah.
are like really upset. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of hate. Yeah, there's a lot of hate.
so
right
you
now,
got to
yeah.
kind of figure out, well, which characters will do well, which characters are going to cause, drama. And but then now they've also kind of split up the market a little bit, in like now they're leaning pretty hard into TVC again. And so it's like,
True.
I don't know. I think they're it seems to me that they're recalibrating and trying to figure it out. And honestly, like from what I'm seeing, it seems like there's a lot more energy and juice behind TVC right now. So
They have been more
So,
successful on the HasLab front too.
yeah, exactly. And also another thing, like Yak Face did a poll of like what figures do you want to see, like original trilogy, prequel, and sequel trilogy. And like you guys can already guess what, like there was like sequel and TV show, Disney TV show. You can already guess what was last. Sequel and TV show stuff is last, whereas prequel is like destroying even original trilogy figures. And so they're like, well, we need to sell, like the Disney's going to force us to make figures from the new sequel,
stuff.
Like
The Acolyte.
but it's like they know that doesn't sell, which is why we haven't got any sequel trilogy figures in forever. I think the last one was like Dark Side Ray.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not a great sign, and it's not unique to Star Wars, which is why I think Hasbro's in a weird place, because it's the same thing where MCU figures don't really sell. So
yes,
I don't know. It's not a great sign for the overall health of
it's true.
The toy collecting in general, I think, and the longevity of it. Because if that's the new stuff, that's the stuff that's
those are supposed to be the money makers,
a broad audience. And if those things aren't selling, and you continue to sell to like a hardcore set of fans who will sit here, no offense, and go like, yeah, that's the third time I've seen that mask, and that's the second time I've seen this. At a certain point, it's like you're gonna have a hard time selling figures.
And just to cross promote a little bit, go ahead and clip it up here if you guys want a full breakdown on why we think the action figure collecting might be dying.
Yeah, I saw that. You're good with that. You're good with that. Well done. Super professional. Learning. Taking notes.
Let's go ahead and jump over to Mezco Toys.
Ooh, beautiful logo.
They're giving us that Doc Ock 1/12 action figure, $112 here, scheduled for January of 2025. And this was teased when they did the original Amazing Spider-Man. So cool to get that full reveal here on this Doc Ock. He's got removable tentacles that are highly posable. He's got that soft goods outfit on. I think color-wise did a great job. Like I think Mezco does a really good job when they do like that classic comic book vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they kind of veer from that, I think they kind of struggle sometimes. I don't know what it is. At least for me, on my opinion, I like when they do more of that classic comic book figures.
What would be an example of when they veer away?
Miles Morales.
Sure.
That was bad. That was bad. Yeah.
I love that reaction.
That was bad.
So, and if I had one gripe with this figure, like for me, who grew up on not the comics but the animated series, this Doc doesn't got enough girth to him. I need my Doc a little chubbier.
I saw the same thing too. And then I Googled the first appearance Doc Ock, and it's accurate.
Yeah. No, you're right. I 100% agree.
It's totally like old school 60s Spider-Man, as is that Spidey right there. So like it makes sense. This is the vibe of that. However, like I think maybe the colors for me, you're mentioning the color. I would love that light green to be maybe a little bit more saturated. I don't know. Maybe you're looking at
it could be
older
photography.
Faded comics too. Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
And the body, I don't know. It's funny. I was just chatting elsewhere in the Dorkler live stream earlier when they showed this, and they had like that posed up, just kind of static shot of him standing there. I'm sorry, I kind of laugh because it looks like a little kid in a costume.
It does. Yeah,
the body looks like a little kid.
He needs to be fatter. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's undeniably Doc from back in the day, and I love that they've actually translated it. The 3D, their sculpting is great because that was really simplified stuff. The way they drew him back in
very flat.
They were still took that look and brought it a little bit more on the realism side, and I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think they knock it out of the park on these classic figures, man. They really do
cool
a good
hand
job.
Choices. Smart hand choices too. That's like the Dr. Octopus, just like
yeah, get after them. But you got all these sets of claws and bendy wire and all the things you can extended claws. Mm-hmm. So really, really cool accessories, which Mezco always does a great job. Also, this lab coat, gotta love that it has the slit openings on the back to get those arms so you can get them posed with them as well. So that's so cool, man. But yeah, my one gripe on this one would just be I like my Doc Ock's a little girthier. I know it's accurate, so great job, Mezco, on doing a really classic Doc Ock.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, because we've gotten Goblin now, we've gotten Doc Ock.
Yeah,
like, what other villains would you guys like to see next? For
What are the big
Lizard?
guys?
No, they haven't.
I mean, that's the like trifecta, right? They need if they're going to continue on these classic villains, like
we'll need a Rhino and then Electro, right?
Mysterio.
Well, no, I think like that's such a great point. Like, well, I feel like Rhino, no, because there's no soft goods, but the Lizard has so much soft goods that I think that's a perfect opportunity. That one, Lizard for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you don't want to do like where you get like they do the TMNT figures and like you're paying this premium price and there's no soft goods, Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? What do you also agreeing with Brick on the Lizard?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the Lizard. Because I always think of what has a lot of good soft goods, like
for Mezco to do. Right?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There's that Doc Ock from Mezco. Let's jump over to SH Figure Arts. They're giving us a Shinomiya. Okay, we talked about this figure, not this figure, but this property before. Do you remember this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Kaiju number 8. It's an anime that I'm currently watching, and initially I love Kaijus. Okay, and then I heard about this, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out eventually. And it wasn't until I saw her that I was like, okay, especially with the big old axe, I was like, I need to know what this is. And me being the weirdo I am, I looked up the Wikipedia and started just reading about the show before I watched the show.
Wait, so this is all before you even watched it?
Correct, but like like the stories or anything. Just like what's the production, who's in it, who's doing the animation.
Okay, gotcha.
It's Production IG and Studio Kara, which is Hideaki Anno's studio company, and they're specifically only working on the kaiju design in this show. And this is Hideaki Anno is the guy from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like that's just, I love that guy. So really cool to see that name attached. And I was like, okay, I have to watch it. And I actually watched the first 3 episodes the other day. And it's killer, dude. This show is funny, great, like berserk level monster designs, kaiju designs, which I love. Just freaky and weird, and good story too. Because like the story is this kid who cleans up after the good guys kill the kaijus. They go out there and clean up things, and something happens where he is able to transform into a kaiju.
Yeah, and he's sort of hiding amongst. So he's hiding amongst the sort of defense force that fights kaiju.
Correct.
And so, I love this anime right now. I'm watching it with my youngest, and we're totally in it. That weapon has not shown up yet. So, but
because she has like that power suit, right? So it makes sense that she's going to be able to handle this thing.
They all do. So they all have power suits that help, I guess, like, what's the word? Like kind of amplify their inner potential. It's actually really funny, as you say, but also super, super smart.
Yeah.
But yes, and she's like this like wonderkind, right? She's like the badass of all the new recruits. Whereas
it gives me Oscar vibes. So that's kind of why I liked her a lot.
It's a really cool show, but also you mentioned the designs. You can totally see the Evangelion influence, particularly, I was just gonna say, in Kaiju number 9. Right? The body type, the elongated,
no eyes. Yeah, the no eyes. Yeah.
Love it, man.
Super creepy and weird too.
This one too, with the secondary arms. That's Toji's from Evangelion, right? Unit 5 or Unit 9, I can't remember. But he also gets
there. Look at that.
So cool. Just quickly to go back here, this friend here actually comes with an extra face sculpt for your Kaiju number 8 to go on that figure, so you can get a little swap out piece. I love that's something that SG Figure Art has committed to, and it's just going to keep adding little things regardless of the line.
Sorry, can I hear you say that again? Kaiju number 9 comes with an extra faceplate, but does she as well, or no?
So she doesn't. So what they kind of do is they cross promote with like extra accessories. So she's going to come with that faceplate.
I just wanted to make sense. Yeah, I saw that. Cool. And he's cheap too. If you wanted a Kaiju number 8, the main character, he's a cheaper figure,
and that's
they get you in there.
I love that Figure Arts does that.
Yeah,
totally. The big shonen animes.
the protagonist comes out a little cheaper for everybody to get.
And by cheap, I mean $50.
Right. For like SH figure arts, right?
So revisit the conversation about those Marvel Legends and move on.
But yeah, so cool. I love it. And Kaiju number 9 also comes with a different head sculpt for Kaiju number 8. Like, I love that, right? They give you the cross promotion, man. I love it. Makes you just want those figures even more, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, really cool to get this. I'm watching on Crunchyroll when the next episode drops.
And if you're like me, who kind of has larger figures, Kaiju number 8 is a bigger figure. He's like a little over 7 inches, which is, unlike their human figures, which are going to be much
right, like
5.5.
5.5. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, let's jump over to Haya. I updated their logo. We used to have like a really pixelated because I couldn't find anything better. They've kind of been, showing up in this game of toy collecting. So I went ahead and gave them that nice little logo. Updated the resolution. But another thing that's really close to me, we are getting a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Kusanagi, the major. The major, yeah. Exactly, Brick. And I actually was able to get this pre-ordered for $94 because Entertainment Earth was doing the Memorial Day sale when it dropped. So I was able to get $10 off 100. So kind of excited about that. But yeah, just that second gig or the standalone complex, major Kusanagi. I love this.
I'm a huge, I love Ghost in the Shell, period, but I really, really love the SAC or standalone complex.
Yeah.
I was just telling this story on the news about like, man, I used to go around and like tag and sticker the Laughing Man logo. Remember the Laughing Man logo?
Yeah.
But I think she looks fantastic. I love, and the gaps in this case are great because it's like, if you know the major and her cybernetic body, it's like, there's something slightly,
there's some inlays. Yeah, you can see inlays around her.
Yeah. And even all those joints, it's like, yeah, that works for the major in my brain. Even though, even though you're seeing skin break, it's like, no.
She's a fully cybernetic human.
Yeah, man. Look at those poses.
Yeah, and Haya coming in with that soft good leather jacket, man, or the faux leather jacket, but just those soft goods, just to add that extra depth to your collection, to your figures, man.
Yeah, and I feel like I've seen early stuff of the jacket and stuff, and so the tailoring on this looks a lot better.
Okay,
fits her really well, I think.
Yeah, the cuffs look good. I'm excited for this, man. Josh, what do you think?
Next up, Batu, man. You gotta give us a Batu.
Oh my god, yeah, Batu.
That would be nice.
We need all of Section 9. All of them. That would be cool. Yeah.
What was the name of the leader, the little old dude? I'd love to have a figure of that guy.
Colonel
with the hair.
Yeah, with the hair stick. Always had their backs, man. Always had their backs.
But the posing too, like Haya, got to give it up to him. They know the character, and they're like, okay, the character needs to be able to stand and do the thing that this character does, which we saw in all these photos.
Yeah,
like great choices. I haven't actually handled a Haya figure, so I don't know enough. So I don't know. Do you have much experience?
I have no experience with like the 6-inch because I feel like they're relatively new. Like they're still kind of being released, but I have a couple of like the 3 3/4 inch like Predator. The 3 3/4 Predator figures, and they're phenomenal. Like the paint, and I'm always like amazed. I'm like, how do they pack that much articulation on that scale? But yeah, I yet to have a 6-inch figure from them.
Okay, I've heard great things about the Joe. So
yeah, I've heard great things about the Rambo figure, which was mostly soft goods, and so I'm excited for Haya. I think it's again, me and Josh always talk about how it's good for competition, right? It's good for the market to have other people in this scale, other companies.
That price point, the higher end, yeah.
Correct, at the higher end, because $100, right? This is getting imported from China, is where it comes from. Haya is a Chinese company, yeah. So, that is what it is. So, but there's everything you're getting. You're also getting a base here, a stand for her, helmet, weapons, everything you can want. 3 different head scopes. Love it. And
just the quality of life. I love when they do those bases that you could store all the like majority of the accessories in. Like a one that you pop open the lid, you can put the hands in there. So you don't lose it.
I was just gonna ask you. So the one on the left is just sort of a normal base, and the one on the right has a drawer. Is that right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a little clamshell, yeah.
I appreciate that logo was a little simplified too. I prefer like logo-less stuff, like that Dr. Octopus one from earlier. I didn't mention it, but I was like, it's like buying those, cool t-shirts, and it's like an awesome image of Boba Fett, and then it's like Boba Fett. And it's like, no, I know.
yeah.
I know.
I know what you mean.
So like, I don't know that I need my stance. Like, I want my stance to disappear, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just a little thing to put out in the action figure maker universe, and it'll save you some money too.
That's true. All right, let's take it around the net. ATN. This is just where we kind of find random stuff and just throw it in and see what we like here. First up here for $69.99. It's like loose collectors through exquisite exclusive collectors. Can't remember the lineage there, but the Rocketeer executive, and then it's like loose collector. They're kind of teaming up on to give us a Rocketeer figure, man. I love the Rocketeer.
Now, is this the same mold and everything, just a different, slightly more paint detail than the one, the 2-pack with Betty Page? Okay.
Yes, correct. And this one comes with the dog there. So I don't know. I'm digging this, man. I do enjoy the Rocketeer. So to get another version of him, I love it.
Is that a posed figure of a dog? No.
Yeah.
Just a solid bulldog.
Yeah, it is just a big old little bulldog
in my brain. No, I think he looks really great. Did the first one have the purple deco?
No,
it didn't, right? So this is like leaning into, I'm not familiar with like that look of his jetpack. So
I'm not either.
Okay. Yeah. I think he's great. I prefer then you went to the maskless. I think he looked really great with the mask. I personally am not sold yet on the human faces that I've seen from Loose Collector.
I agree. And that's kind of why I threw the zoomed in one here. I was like, just kind of
what other toys has this company Loose Collector made besides this?
Licensed wise, or
just anything, I guess.
They do the sexy women of comic lines, like indie comic,
like the Vampirella
lines. Exactly. Vampirella.
Okay. Oh, okay.
They start, one of the earliest ones was the heavy metal. What is her name? Tarna from Heavy Metal movie. Do you remember her?
Oh yeah. Okay.
That one was a little bit wonky. That wasn't the best release. And then they've gotten better. More recently, they've got like La Muerta.
La Muerta, yeah.
La Muerta they did, and those are all kind of the female. They've got a very similar buck. They even did like some dope characters from the Philippines, because the Loose Collector dude is a designer / used to be like badass customizer from the Philippines. And so he did some really great characters. Darna, which was like a Philippine TV show take on I'd say Wonder Woman mixed with Superman kind of character. Mm-hmm. And then the other one was Trece, which was on Netflix for a while. It's about like sort of a monster hunter kind of thing. And so they do cool stuff that like no one else does. So I'm really intrigued by them, but I'm always honestly like, I haven't pulled the trigger until more recently. They did the werewolves that are coming out. Like I've got werewolves on the brain, but you know what I'm talking about? The great wolves. There's like 4 of them.
I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, they're huge, like gigantic wolves. They've got a gray one, a white one, a black one, and a brown one. I think 2 of them are available on BBTS. They also did that Mr. Hyde figure, the big giant.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
So this guy right here, the Rocketeer, is, I want to say, their first sort of slim male buck. Okay. And so this same guy is being, I believe this basic body type is being used for a Grendel figure, which is a great comic book, one of my favorite comic book characters ever. So I'm excited about that. Okay. But the first thing I've actually pulled the trigger on is the Great Wolves, which you should look at if you haven't seen.
Okay, I'll check those out for sure.
And sorry, but I'll just say this: have you probably know this, guys? The Death Dealer recently in the horse.
Oh yeah, yes.
That's Loose Collector.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, as I'm kind of with you, like, as excited I am about them having this property, looking at the figure and kind of looking at, the face sculpt, if it can't do this pose, I don't need it. And based off of what I'm,
the neck, right?
Exactly, like for me, it just has to be this way.
True.
Yeah.
And I'm just not seeing.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either. I don't see the articulation getting us.
You gotta mod it.
And maybe in that point, it's not worth it for me to pick up. So.
And they're not cheap. I will say
that's true.
They're not cheap figures, and there's been a lot of like that Death Dealer that came out. That's a Death Dealer and horse for $350, and I think there's to go back to what I was saying earlier. I think there's always reasons for why.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just a matter of a cash grab. The thing with Loose Collector is they're pulling licensed figures, and they don't really have like a sustained line. They kind of make deals with like this person, and we're going to make figures for you, and then we're going to work with the Frazetta people and do a one-off figure.
Right.
So when you're doing that, it's hard to kind of, I'm assuming, to plan in the budget for the long term. And
that's true. That makes sense.
I don't know. And it just occurred to me, the Red Sonja you might have been familiar with too.
Correct. Yeah.
You did those?
Not the Hacks one.
Not the Hacks one.
It was a previous Red Sonja.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a previous one. But yeah, it is what I love the property. I love that people are making these toys, like Rocketeer toys. But
how much is this one? Do we know?
I'm not sure.
Like, how much was that werewolf one that you have, Brick?
This is $70. This Rocketeer. The werewolf is closer to 100. It's like, so this is this Veteran Williams werewolf. It's like huge. It's like ogre scale, I think.
Oh wow.
It's like this. Yeah, I'll show them to you after, because you'll
okay.
He literally took all of these different werewolves and posed them next to his to kind of like
get you an idea.
Other ones look pretty, and make the other ones look a little puny, basically.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here with the Rocketeer. Last little thing we want to talk about is Joy Toy.
Dude, someone's finally making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. That's awesome.
There's been a drought. There's no one's been filling this market here. TMNT is literally everyone's ridden this horse right by this point, right? So
yeah,
we'll see what Joy Toy does with it, though. They're saying the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So is that from the 2009 show? Right? I don't know. We haven't seen those kind of like. But based off of the silhouettes, you're probably not.
This is the one that, so Nickelodeon, they also did the one with the crossover with Batman, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Like McFarlane and
styles.
DC directed those.
I mean, the end of the day, the most exciting piece of this. So yes, it's everyone's doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was totally joking, but like TMNT fans are stoked. And the thing is, like, TMNT has constantly reinvented itself, so it's 100% appropriate, I think, that all these different people are making different types of Ninja Turtles. To me, the most exciting piece of this is that Joy Toy is doing this like broad brand and this broad IP that could potentially create some new Joy Toy fans. So
looking at the silhouettes now, I'm probably wrong, but what if these are the
Michael Bay
Bay produced? I think so. Look at the silhouettes. They're a little bulkier. They got more like things around them.
They're not.
Look at Donnie. He's got like some kind of weird thing on him.
Wait, Donnie,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
On the far right, you think he's
with
got
the
goggles and stuff? Is like
they're not. I can tell you right now, they're not.
All right. Josh is saying I'm wrong. That's all right.
That would be cool though. But
I would pick those up.
No, but seriously, Joy Toy at that scale, Joy Toy like does some amazing stuff with that scale. And like, what are we talking? Like, are we gonna get a Krang? Are we like, what could they do? I mean, I would honestly love for just Joy Toy to kind of do your own Ninja Turtles take, because with the kinds of things that they can produce at that scale and like do like vehicles or whatever, like go for it, because we've got like, all of the Ninja Turtles. There's the cartoons, there's the Mirage, there's all that stuff. Cool. Let someone like a really creative company like Joy Toy like go wild.
Uncook. Yeah. Josh, what were you saying?
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I just think, from my experience with 6-inch, I think Joy Toy is like the #1 company. If you guys have not experienced a 6-inch Joy Toy figure, they are just phenomenal, man. They are out of this world. And so, yeah, like, I can't remember what is it called. They're like the Joy Toy. Oh, the Frontline Chaos line. That line is insane.
Is that the one with the big wolf person and the
Frontline Chaos line is like, they're like more like what you say. They're just literally whatever the artists want to do, and they just make random characters, and they're like a bunch of random things, like guys with guns, people with swords.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
like no property, it's just cool toys.
And this is a way to rein that in, that level of creativity with like, no, but it has to be turtles, but like, but still let them play. And I don't know, I'd be excited to see that, honestly, because again, the other stuff exists. We don't need more of the other stuff. And like, selfishly, we don't need the Michael Bay stuff. Like, we don't.
I want it.
I want it though too.
So hold on, Zack Snyder and Michael Bay. Like, honestly, that's a tough one.
But hold on. Okay, here's my. This is
Michael
not
Bay over Zack Snyder. Actually, Michael Bay over Zack Snyder.
Here's the thing, Michael Bay. As much as you want to talk, whatever you want to talk on him,
I would too. But by the way,
his like vision. When he shoots a plate,
Oh no, for
you
sure.
can really see it. It's very dramatic. Really,
His
really,
hero
really
shots,
good
those are
action.
money.
That's literally, he invented a shot, right? He invented
Yeah.
the 60 hero shot. Like that
Mhm,
was
mhm.
his invention. I mean, he's contributing to cinema. I can't say what you will about him. He's important for action films and for fun.
He has more good movies than Zack Snyder, that's for sure.
All right. Let's be nice.
Watch The Island. That's my favorite Michael Bay.
Island is so
that
good.
was good.
Yeah, Island's so
Yeah.
good. But like, I mean, we watched Ambulance. Like that story is kind of whatever. There's a lot of plot holes, but man, seeing that ambulance just haul through Los Angeles, this is amazing. It's fun to watch.
It's never about the story anyway.
No, man. And I think once you understand that about Michael Bay, you can enjoy his movies a little more. That's me personally, though. But
Seeing these silhouettes, I feel like they're not classic. They don't look classic to me.
No,
I
don't.
think this looks promising.
I think Brick is right on the money. I think it's Joy Toy's interpretation of TMNT. So it's going to be
sick.
like a little techie. It's going to be a little more military. I don't know, something good.
I hope
think so.
I think that'd be so fun.
I agree. All right, friends, that's going to wrap up our show for this week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Brick, thank you for being here on our 100th episode. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
I hope I didn't talk too much and make it giant size, but hey, giant size issue 100.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The Brick special, the Brick something
Yeah,
special.
Brick special. That's what we'll call it.
We'll go ahead and now let's kind of ponder our pick of the weeks. While we're thinking about this, friends, make sure you leave your comment down below of your pick of the week. We'll start with Brick. Are you feeling ready, or we can go to Josh?
Flip through them.
All right, I'll run through them. I already know mine, so if you want,
You go.
Okay, come on, man. It's Kusanagi. It's it's major Kusanagi, man. To get a Ghost in the Shell figure, I'm just so excited, man. And hopefully, like Haya gives me a Tachikoma. I would love a little Tachikoma, man. I know there's like SH Figure Arts, or no, Figma did a Tachikoma a little while back, but I don't know. It's a little too small for me. But yeah, I'm excited for more Ghost in the Shell, and the major is just the perfect place to start.
That would have been mine too, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and go with Vincent Price. Actually, I'm really excited. It's definitely something different for my shelf. And as I was sort of talking through it, I think it's perfect. Like, it's like, how's he going to fit? And yeah, the idea that he's maybe going to introduce the adventure.
Right. He's the storyteller.
Yeah, man. He's the storyteller.
Love it.
I'm gonna go with McFarlane Toys, the Dark Seed, man. That one, at that price point, I think it's such a solid figure. The sculpt, everything. I mean, besides it's lacking the good Omega beams, that's it.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. All right. Well, thank you so much, friends, for tuning in on another weekly Talking Toys, the Action Figure Podcast. Brick, again, third time I'll say it, probably the last time I'll say it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all you do for our community and appreciate the support, man, as always.
And go check out his channel.
Yeah.
Brick something. He's on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yeah. I'll leave the link down below for Brick's channel. Yep. And all right, as always, friends, keep collecting, keep playing, and may the action figure gods smile upon you. Peace.